If you hear me move things around, that. Sorry.
Hey, there's a newsstand over there. We know our Fontanian friends love a little drama. Isn't that Charlotte? And standing next to her, surely that can't be Kaniche?
How about... Lost treasure resurfaces at last. Behold the beauty of the Remurian teacup.
Charlotte has no voice.
Pretty shocking.
I mean...
But it still feels like
I'm
it's
fine with that.
missing something. Ah, got it! Udex gravely wounded in shocking stabbing. Set to miss cross-border smuggling trial.
Fine, I hate to admit it, but you won this one.
Huh? What? Did Paimon hear that right? Neuvillette was... No, surely that can't be right. Can it?
What is this ever?
Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here.
Yeah, that, and also a less than pleasant shock. What the heck was all that about a story in meat restaurant and the Udex getting stabbed? Please say you weren't being serious.
Probably. Oh my god. They weren't being that serious.
Trading tabloid headlines?
Yeah. Charlotte and I were having a little contest to see who could find the most ridiculous fake news stories. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material.
I'm sorry you had to see such flattering side to Fontaine, Mr. Keach. Oh my god. But these are great tabloids. Great. See their headline. Yeah. care about is grabbing attention to boost their sales. Yeah.
If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
I mean, technically, that's technically right. Technically. People who are writing outrageous things, that would be technically true. Sorry. I'm just grabbing, like, my snack that I had on my break.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Oh, you gotta be kidding!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the wildest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality.
You mean all those fake headlines you mentioned actually do have some...
Sure they do. For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. Considering the amount of speculation surrounding the smuggled goods, it's no wonder there are rumors about restaurants serving saurian meat or teacups being unearthed from ancient ruins. But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in that land. Rest assured, no saurians were harmed in the process.
That's good. No saurians were harmed in the process. That would be a good line. I'm sorry. No saurians were harmed in the process.
Oh, okay! Paimon was so busy freaking out about those headlines that she totally forgot to ask why you're here in Fontaine, Kenichi.
It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough. But I'm guessing, Mademoiselle Charlotte, that you're less interested in the case than you are in trying to uncover some news stories about Natlan.
You saw right through.
I appreciate your kind invitation, but like I said, storytelling isn't really my forte.
Kenichi the speechless! Kenichi the tongue-tied! Huh?
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead?
Back to me again. That also means I'll need a bit more time to prep. Let me put together a thorough list of interview questions. Sounds like I'm not allowed to refuse. Oh my god, I can't even do it. My voice wouldn't even be that good. Well, I know I can be persistent, but at the end of the day, it's your call. Anyway, I should probably get back to work. I also need to go track down a destiny. Yes. I can't say that word. And report these increasingly outrageous tabloids. Farewell, my friends. Until we meet again.
Charlotte never stops, does she? Anyway, Paimon just has to ask. That how thing that popped out before. Or
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a how.
huh? What's up with him? Like, he's still noisy, but he's way quieter than before.
Could be.
Not acclimatizing? Aw, poor Almighty Dragon Lord is not feeling well.
Too bad he can't come out to argue back.
What do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine. Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month.
Yeah. I'm sure Paimon gets it even better.
Paimon sure does. Paimon's been down this road before. There's an easy solution. As long as Kaniche holds onto a how's tail, he'll be considered an almighty...
Not gonna lie, I was considering that. But a how wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage here. I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along?
Makes my day, sure.
I know where it is, so let me lead the way. Looks like I remembered correctly. Here we are.
Wow, this is awesome!
Yeah, it was still completely deserted only a few days ago when I passed by on my way to testify at the Opera House. There must be some efficient workers in Fontaine.
A few days? One night was all it took. Rap-a-tap-tap, ta-da! But is this all it takes to blow people away? Oh, no. Given my past experience, I can't let myself get carried. Well, I can't believe you actually remember me. It's me, Lepine Pauline. That's right, the unlucky one. Of course! How else would we have managed to build Fantasyland in a single night?
Fantasyland?
At least that's how I like to think of it myself. A magical land of fantasy, the stuff of film buffs' dreams. I know it sounds like I'm laying it on thick, but that really is the goal here. As you can see, the theme of this amusement park is Fontainian filmmaking, a place for all film lovers to come together and co-construct a world of dreams.
Co-construct? Well, that's a relief. Sounds like you're sharing the cost this time rather...
Nope! I might be inviting others to help fund this, but that doesn't mean I haven't thrown all my life savings into it too.
Huh? You've got to be kidding. Ha! Look at you, puny little humans. Recklessly, if you're expecting even an ounce of sympathy from the almighty Dragon Lord, dream on!
What the hell's that?
Sorry, just ignore that little gizmoid. He likes to butt in occasionally. Do go on.
Gizmoid? Who you calling Gizmoid? You're the...
Wow! That's quite a nifty mecha you've got yourself. You ought to let Miss Charlotte see your cool gadget.
Mass production? Ugh, insolent, vulgar, and disrespectful! I, the almighty Dragon Lord, am one of a kind! And another thing, Smart is the understatement of the century! I shall have you know that I am Kahulahau, forebear of ancient wisdom! I lived for eons long before any of you were born!
What? Heavens above!
Idiot meets idiot.
What's all the fuss? Making some new friends, are we?
Navia!
Miss Navia! Allow me to introduce the star behind all the work that's gone into this venue. Miss Navia, president of Fontaine Spina di Rosula.
Hello, everyone. Partner, Paimon. How have you been lately?
Hello there. I'm Kanich.
What about me? What about me? My useless servant can't even give me a proper introduction.
You think someone yelling their name out in the middle of a public street really needs an introduction?
He's not wrong. I caught yours just now, in fact. So, you must be the almighty Dragon Lord, Mr. Ahau.
He can't take it. He's like,
Oh, see that? That's what I call proper manners. Well, it's not every day you meet a well-mannered human. Navia, was it? Excellent. You may address the almighty Dragon Lord by his name. Navia, don't you think the title Almighty Dragon Lord is a bit silly?
It's no big deal. All little animals do that, don't they? I mean, try to puff themselves up to look more impressive.
Anyway, it's all thanks to Miss Navia and the Spina di Rosula that Fantasyland's gotten up and running in the space of a single night. Honestly, thank heavens! After all that paperwork and endless waiting, the event and venue finally got the green light. I couldn't wait a moment longer. After all, who else but the Spina di Rosula?
Sorry, traveler. Miss Lapine Pauline sometimes gets a bit overwhelmed by her own excitement. As you can see, I'm guessing she hasn't gone into much detail about the event yet. So let me fill you in. In short, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is a fan convention that's open to film enthusiasts from all over Teyvat. Miss Lapine Pauline is hosting this event and also providing technical support.
Huh?
That's right. The one and only Surintendant Cheval Moran. After much persistence and many solicitations, I finally obtained Lady Farina's permission to use the image of her. Not only is our adorable mascot drawing in fans by the minute, but she's also boosting her own popularity. And that was always the goal.
It's been a while since we last met, but still, it's a surprise to hear Lapine Pauline coming out with such sensible ideas. By the way, Miss Lapine Pauline, have you decided to switch careers and go into film tech?
Not exactly. By chance, one of the prototype lenses I developed caught a photographer's eye, and it's now being used for the latest cinematic production. Thanks to this unexpected opportunity, I've had the chance to invent various film-related equipment and props.
That's right. So don't underestimate Miss Lapine Pauline, our resident engineer. As for the Spina di Rosula, we're mainly here to take care of planning, operations, and management. For anyone feeling inspired to set up a booth, Miss Lapine Pauline and I will provide the necessary technical and operational support once their application has been approved. By the way, traveler, are you at all interested in taking part? It would be a chance for you to earn some extra income. Plus, with your skills, I'm sure you could bring something special to the table.
Paimon would be even more tempted if you were to say...
Well, as it happens, that'll be a piece of cake. Everyone needs to eat, whether they be tourists or the stall owners themselves. So thanks to Miss Navia's help, we've managed to invite none other than the celebrity chef, Mrs. Look over there!
She's already at work.
You! Yes, you! For the last time, the ingredients have to be in the right ratio!
She seems a bit busy right now.
Well, I'm sold. I think I'll make Ahau go be her assistant.
You little... What's What's your game here?
Demoiselle, sorry to bother you, but there's an issue over here that requires your personal attention.
Apologies. Looks like it's back to work with me. Anyway, if you're interested in taking part, come find me later.
Greetings. Apologies if you overheard. The sheer lack of standards here. The ones that leave their guns behind by accident and then come back to collect them later, bringing ammunition with them.
Yeah, that's the kind of customer you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
Oh,
Wait, has that happened before?
no, it's just the mention of guns reminded me. Someone did actually leave their gun nearby.
Huh?
Just before we started setting up, as we were cleaning up the site, someone stumbled upon a It didn't look like something.
Oh?
Do you think of foreign tourists?
That's what I assumed at first. But the box was buried beneath a pile of wooden planks, rock, but I didn't see much point in speculating, so the best thing I could think of was to I trekked all the way.
What did the authorities make of it?
Oh, they made a mountain out of a molehill, as usual. Before even addressing the question of what was actually inside the box, they had several heated discussions. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Officer Sedine stepped up and immediately called in the Marechaussee Phantom to And, as it turned out...
Wow, that's a
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was?
Oh yeah, Mr. Kanich, you're from Natlan, aren't you? Do you know a lot about guns?
You could say it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Such a spoiled brat. What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... How dare you turn your nose up at my gifts? Why,
Time for a timeout, old-timer.
Old-timer.
Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like?
Time for a timeout, old-timer. Wow.
It's a bit hard to describe. If you asked me, it didn't even really look like a gun. Give me a second. I'll knock out a quick sketch.
Whoa, it's so neat and precise.
Sorry. I know it doesn't really look like a gun, and it certainly could shoot as well, too.
No, quite the opposite. The features are very accurate, and it is definitely from Natlan. Please, don't mind me. I'm just taking a moment to admire it.
I should be the one.
Don't mention it.
Not at all. Oh dear, I'm starting to feel. But just before I go, one last thing. Traveler, it's wonderful to see you. Here's to a successful collaboration.
I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun. Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient dragon ruins. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon. But in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this, out of the blue? I suspect this gun might have something to do with that smuggling case. It might have slipped through the cracks. Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions. Perfect. Then we can head out right away. Or, if you want to catch up with your friends first, I can wait.
Not what I meant.
Bro! Are you mimicking me? No, I mean, one of our buddies is here, for real. Quite a few of them, actually.
Aurora and Aoife, what brings you to Fun?
Huh? How come you're... Ah, I'm guessing Kanich is here because of that international smuggling case, right? I've heard quite a bit about that.
Word sure gets around quickly, huh?
First time abroad and you're already making headlines.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I was the center of attention.
Wasn't expecting to see the Traveler and Paimon here too, though.
Come on, Aoife.
Huh?
A traveler, by definition, is someone who travels around.
Fair point. Anyway, back on topic. Wait a second. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about again?
Why, you're all here, of course.
For vegetables.
Kikuku. Huh?
I'll go first. It's for the Chevrolamine Film Fantasyland. Wait, is that right?
It's Cheval Marin.
Ah, right. I keep stumbling over that one. Guess I owe Cheval Moran an apology. Anyway, long story short, the festival restaurant urgently needed fresh vegetables from Natlan, which is why Aoife and I are here.
So, you guys are
He is. I'm just here as a responsible adult. It's his first time traveling so far away from home, and all the elders in his tribe were worried. So they had me come along.
Even though it's your first time too.
Right, but they still picked me to accompany you. You gotta wonder why that might be.
Ooh.
Don't you get
Sorry.
it? They all just saw how overworked you were, so they used it as an excuse to send you off on a vacation.
Alright.
Wait, what? So I'm getting the grandson treatment now too?
Good grandson treatment. Wow.
See? Doesn't matter how much older you are than this dude. Hang out with him long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself being treated like a kid.
Meaning everyone looks after you. What's so bad about that?
In theory, nothing at all.
Nothing.
In that case, guess I better start over.
Paimon's not sure who the responsible adult is anymore. So, what about Kakuku? If he was here, we'd be making more of a run.
That's exactly...
Aoife, there's nothing to worry. You're a big boy.
You think that's what I'm worried about? Anyway, my priority right now is Kakuku. Suffice it to say, Kakuku's in big doo-doo.
How so?
Sorry.
He's so small, and all he knows are a few
Because
harmless
he's
phrases.
flying around
What kind
in
of trouble could he even get himself into?
the law.
Let me guess. Did he get caught out by the law on flying objects?
Bro, you too?
Not me. How?
Oh, that pesky little chatterbox. So that's why he hasn't interrupted us this whole time. Guess he's too scared to show his face.
That, plus he's already spouted enough nonsense for one day. So I've put him on mute until tomorrow.
Nice one. If I was even half as decisive as you are, I would have kept a closer hold on Kakuku so he didn't get a chance to go flying off.
Oh no, bro. Or rather, did Kakuku get caught by the guards for flying around?
If they had managed that, we'd at least be able to track him down. But when the guards started chasing him, Kakuku flew into that building next door. I wouldn't be surprised if they're...
Ugh.
That one?
Yup, that's the one. Kakuku, I may be able to fly up pretty high. As for Aoife, well...
Not like it's my fault, though. You don't have to apologize.
Wait a sec. What's this got to do with how Kakuku's got himself into a real mess here? Like a panicked animal running straight into a trap. I'm starting to picture him.
Heck yeah! If anyone can pull it off, it's Kakuku. He's always been such an awesome Saurus.
For real now?
Of course I'm for real. I'd never make light of
I
something like
think
that.
I know where he is right now. And
Alright! Everyone's an awesome Saurus! But our priority right now should be...
Leave it to us.
You sure?
And if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
Wait, since when was that up to you?
Well, then it's your call.
All right then, if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I also give you...
There you go. If he objects to that, tell him to come find us.
I think I know where he is. Yep.
Nothing new there.
How did I
What's
not know?
all that commotion?
Well, of course. Of course.
No way, bro!
Oh my god.
Did he say he came from Natlan?
No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Not what they
Oh
mean.
no. Bro!
He keeps repeating the same things over.
Oh, you know one another.
He's a...
He's a friend, yeah.
Great. Well,
Sorry.
that was easy. Looks like we guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the... I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh wow, oh no!
Oh wow, oh no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the case?
Yes. Let me fill you in.
Wow! It really is exactly like Lapine Pauline's sketch! That must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this guns lost and found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, we were just about to go help out with Lapine Pauline's convention. If there's...
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected thing. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kakuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kakuku. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
All right then, we'd better get going.
I know too many people. No, I'm kidding. I mean to say that. It's like everyone, like, at the end of this game just knows too many people. Like, when new characters go over to, like, a different place, they're just like, oh, hey, yeah, let me introduce you to, like, all these other people.
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Kakuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kakuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kakuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, Kakuku accidentally overheard some top-secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Marmonia for a while to sign a confidentiality agreement. But there's no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kakuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
Yay! Problem solved! Alright, let's catch up another day.
Traveler, it's ready to join the Cheval Moran film fantasy. It's time, dear partner in Paimon, for us to turn our attention to the Cheval Moran film fantasyland. As I mentioned, the park was started up by enthusiasts who brought in the Spina di Rosula to handle the planning, construction, and operations. Of course, enthusiasts aren't typically all-around experts. They usually stick to designing the event booths. We, for our part, handle long-term operations and develop standardized strategy guides for the different activities.
Long-term operations? Strategy? It all sounds so complicated. We spend most of our time adventuring and we barely have any experience.
That's more like it. You've seen it all before, haven't you, partner? I'd even go as far as to say you've shaped some of Tevat's biggest business ventures. Anyway, first things first. Let's get an overview of how the whole festival's gonna be run. As you can see, our fantasy land's a bit like a sugar-free macaron right now. Several areas are still under construction. The Spina's only been able to hire a limited number of craftsmen. Besides, we don't have enough experience to handle multiple projects simultaneously. That's why I chose to adopt a time slot-based planning method. So we upgrading facilities, expanding the venue, hiring staff. All of this requires funds and time slots to accomplish. So it's our job to allocate precious time slots in each business cycle to the most worthwhile tasks. As we attract more guests and earn money to add to our funds, we'll also be able to work more efficiently, which will allow us to divide each cycle into finer time slots, which will let us get more done.
So we'll be limited in the decisions we can make and tasks we can focus on within each time period. Which means we have to use our limited actions and Mora to earn even more Mora. Kinda like playing chess or cards then. Paimon thinks she just about gets it. How do you... Yep, come on, we can do this. You mentioned standardized strategy guides.
Of course. Film and entertainment mean different things to different people. And there's gonna be if we're not careful, some visitors might wander off and end up getting in trouble. And others might pick up dangerous props by mistake. To avoid confusion, we need to create a standardized strategy guide for each activity.
Wow, if we're the first ones to test out the activities, who knows what surprises there could be waiting for us. But if we hit a tough spot, we'll just have to rely on our skills to carry us through.
Hopefully it goes without saying that I'd never put you in danger, partner. I also wanted you to experience the activities before anyone else gets to. It'll be fun. Plus, we'd like to hear your thoughts and suggestions.
Oh, those are two things Navia is best at. Making people feel...
Great! Well, I can't wait to hear what you think. Your input is super important to us. All right, then. Let's start with eclectic escapades.